Has anyone ever told you to take a deep breath in order to calm down? Doing, that's actually the worst thing you can do. It is a common misunderstanding that we don't get enough air, but the opposite is actually true. We breathe far too much air. Russian studies suggest that the ideal amount of air to breathe is 4 to 7 liters a minute. Today, many breathe as much as 10 to 15 liters. This hyperventilation causes the carbon dioxide level in the blood to slightly drop, and the oxygen to remain in the blood instead of being released into the organs, the muscles, and the brain. This is the reason some suggest breathing into a paper bag when we hyperventilate. There is more carbon dioxide in the air we exhale than in the air we normally inhale. So when we breathe into a paper bag, the carbon dioxide level in the blood will slightly increase, the oxygen will be released, and subsequently we will feel calmer and more present. I once sat next to a lady on a plane. Her fists were all clenched around the armrests, and she was clearly hyperventilating. "Are you scared?" I asked. "I'm terrified," she replied. Instead of giving her the paper bag, I asked her to say a long S. "Am I supposed to say S?" She looked at me as if I were mad, but finally she exhaled, saying a long S through her mouth, and inhaled silently through her nose. "It actually worked," she said happily. She was calm for the rest of the trip. In Norway and other Scandinavian countries, we do something really strange and frankly quite daft. We speak while inhaling, especially saying the word for yes, ja. On an inhalation, what does this really tell our brain? Danger, alarm, panic. Our main breathing muscle, the diaphragm, is placed just under our ribs. It goes front to back. When we exhale fully, the diaphragm moves upwards like a dome into the chest, causing the air pressure inside our lungs to become lower than the air pressure outside our bodies. This vacuum gradient causes the diaphragm to move downwards and the air to get pushed into our lungs. Just like this bottle expands, our lungs will expand automatically. So inhalation is something you never need to worry about. It is automatic. This movement alone can make the heart move as much as 7 centimeters when we exhale fully. Can you imagine what happens to the other organs? They all move, which is brilliant, because movement is life. Moving the intestines, for example, will prevent constipation. The American psychologist, Dr. Fred Munch, did research on breathing exercises for anxiety and depression. He found that the prolonged exhalation had a great positive influence on both anxiety and depression because it seems to put the body into a state of equilibrium. At the Karolinska Institute in Sweden, they reduced the morphine doses to chronic pain patients by 50% through breathing exercises alone. The conclusion? The slower we breathe, the less pain we experience. Studies from several countries also show that the blood pressure goes down dramatically with slow breathing. Babies all breathe correctly. You can see their entire torso move for each breath. Their stomachs, rib cages, and even their backs. You never ever see a baby breathing like this. But because of too tight clothes, prolonged stress, or even from keeping our stomachs in order to look slim, we start breathing superficially in our chest and collarbones. So we prevent the diaphragm from doing its most important job. I once met this wonderful, self-ironic, and slightly overweight lady. She said, "Look at my stomach. When it's relaxed, it's here. When I tuck it in, it's here. Why do I bother?" Breathing superficially also causes the muscles in our chest, neck, jaw, and shoulder blades to tense up. Yet very few realize that their headaches, migraines, neck, or even back pains may be directly caused by their poor breathing. So no, let's all try this. Please sit up straight on the front of your seats, with the palms of your hands facing upwards. Imagine that the back of your head is hanging in a string from the ceiling. Your chest is relaxed, yet lifted. And most importantly, your stomach is really heavy, like the Buddha. Then afterwards, I would like you, in your own speed, to make a long exhalation by saying an S. And towards the end of this S, I would like you to pull your navel slightly towards your back while you still say the S. As soon as the S stops, close your mouth, relax your stomach, imagine you're about to yawn, and let the air flow back in through your nose. Feel your stomach, ribs, and back expand, but keep your chest still. Make sure the inhalation is silent and that you don't pull the air in actively. Okay, let's start. Please close your eyes. At your own tempo, exhale, and towards the end of the S, pull your navel slightly towards your back. Then relax your stomach and close your mouths, and let the air flow back in by itself through your nose. Feel your stomach and ribs expand. Then again, exhale. Pull your stomach slightly in towards the end of the S. Then relax your stomach and let the air flow back in through your nose. And again, exhale. Do it at your own speed. Your stomach goes in. Then close your mouth and relax your stomach and let the air flow back in through your nose. Do it one last time. Exhale. Pull your navel slightly towards your back. Then release your stomach and let the air flow back in. And please open your eyes. What did it feel like? Do you feel any calmer? Or maybe you feel anxious or even slightly angry. This might be the case if you have high levels of stress hormones in your body. And if the respiratory center in your brain is used to you hyperventilating. This center may then protest saying, "Hello, you don't get enough air, you have to breathe more air." Eventually though, if you continue practicing this slow breathing pattern, the respiratory center will shut up, your cortisol levels will drop, and you will feel calmer. If you suffer from any form of anxiety or panic, make sure to breathe this way. Exhaling through your mouth and inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your nose can make the anxiety escalate the same way as inhaling through your mouth does. If you don't remember much from this talk, it's probably because you didn't breathe slowly enough. However, there are two things I do want you to remember. Exhale and relax your stomach. Thank you very much.